All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about auto ownership. So we're going to now start to talk about cars. All right, now the first thing we're going to do before we get started is talking about stuff from the last unit, which is the TAVT. All right, so the TAVT basically is the sales tax of a car. So Carrie purchased a used car for $7,400, and the TAVT, the tax, was 8.5%. So very simply, I'm just going to take 7,400 and multiply it by 8.5%. Now, of course, always move the decimal, so it'll be 0.048, 0.085, sorry. And so you end up with $629. All right, pretty simple. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into example number one. Jason wants to sell his Ford SUV. I think that should be compares these prices from the internet for cars similar to his 11,000, 9,000, 12,000, 10,000, 9,000. What is a reasonable price? There's really no yes and a right or wrong answer when it comes to what is the exact answer. If you were to say something, oh, it's he should sell for 20 grand, and once again I'm writing with my mouse and I don't want to do that. All right, so let me write it this way. Okay, so if you're thinking, oh, he should sell it for $20,000, that would be incorrect. I mean, I know there's no right or wrong, but that's pretty wrong. You got to look at what the comparables are. The comparables are anywhere from the 9,000 to the 12,000 range. So the 9,000 to 12,000, I would probably say a good range would probably be about $11,000. That would be my guess. And so remember, this is a very open-ended question. So don't feel the need that you have to get the exact dollar amount correct, because you might say, oh, I think it should be, and I'm going to write over here, $10,500. Then I'd give you credit for that too. All right. But the main part of example number one is compare what has been selling, the other cars, and compared to what Jason should sell it. All right. So example number two. Now we're going to start talking about calculations. The first car, or Joe is looking for purchasing a new truck, and he went into two lots. The first car lot has a diesel pickup truck. The base price is $10,800. All right. He wants $3,200 or $33,260 in options. The dock fee is $750, and the TAVT is 7%. Okay. Now, what is the doc fee? This is like the document fee, all the paperwork that goes along with buying a car. All the little pieces of paper you got to sign, that's got to be filed, it's got to be sent to your insurance, got to be sent to the bank, whatever. That's what the doc fee would be. All right, just the cost of doing all that paperwork. Now, notice I give you a little formula here. Okay, so the TAVT, remember um, that's the percentage. Okay, remember that's the percentage times the base plus options. So you're only multiplying the tax by the cost of the car. Okay, everything else like the dock fee and the title fee gets added after. Okay, and I'm going to type this out so you can see it. So the dock fee and the title fee gets added after, and you're going to forget about that. And the reason I'm putting special mention on that is because of the fact that students are going to mess up on it. All right. So very simply, here we go. We have the base price. So the base price ended up being $10,800. Okay. We are going to add the options. Remember, he wanted the upgrade. So sometimes that might be uh, leather seats as opposed to cloth seats. Maybe that's aftermarket tires, whatever. We're going to add that up. Okay, and then we're going to multiply it by the TAVT. Now, I know I wrote it up here first, and you can do that. That's fine. So the TAVT is 7%, so it would be 0.07. Okay, and then I'm going to add the dock fee, which is $370. Sorry, $370, and then I would add a title fee if there was a title fee, and apparently there's not in this problem. So all I'm going to do is just add all this up. So when I do that, I get 15,414. Let me put a comma there. All right, and $414.20. Now I already see a problem. Okay, and I should have made this, and I should have made this typo. I should have cleared this up before the problem, but I didn't. So if I take 7% and multiply it to this, okay, I'm actually not going to get the right answer. I need to go back to my first unit and put a 1 right there. Because if I put a 1 in front of the percentage, hopefully you remember this, then what happens when I multiply it by 1.07 versus zero point 0.7? The base price of the car, as well as the options, when it gets multiplied by 7%, it also gets added back. So 1.07 would actually be the correct answer. Okay, so the answer is 15,414, but we should have put the 1.07, and that should be a review from the last unit or from last semester. All right, the second car is a Ford F-250 diesel truck. The base price is $13,800. He wants 1,216 options because the truck already comes with more upgrades. All right, here we go. The dog fee is 170, and the TAVT is 7%. Find the total cost. So once again, if the TAVT is 7%, in the formula, I'm just going to put 1.07 times 13,800 times, I should put the comma in there, I didn't, I apologize, and I'm going to add, oops, I shouldn't put times there, sorry, plus that, and plus the dock fee is 170, and when I press enter, I get $16,284.20. Put the comma there. But I think the biggest challenge that we're going to have, and it's going to get students, you guys, to remember that you got to put a 1 on there in order to multiply it correctly. You got to put a 1 on that. Okay? Moving on. Variable cost, fixed cost. Variable cost, very simply, is costs that go up and down, and fixed costs are costs that are the same always. Now, I did that, I answered that in a very, very simple way. All right, so let's go to a couple examples. What is a fixed cost versus what is a variable cost? And oh good, I can put it all on the same screen. All right, so a fixed cost is costs that are always the same. So, like for example, a monthly car payment, that's always going to be the same. So this right here would be a fixed cost. Okay, car insurance is $90 a month. That will always be the same, so that's fixed costs. And then, of course, I know you guys might be asking, well, what if you get in a car accident? Well, we're under the impression that car insurance is always the same, okay? Meaning it does not change from month to month. It always stays the same. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, and that is gas. Let's say for the month you spent $120. But let's say next month you're going on vacation, and you're going to spend double that. The cost of gas goes up and down, which means it's a variable. Oil change is the same thing. There's some months where you're not going to need an oil change. All right, and then there's some months where you don't, where like say the month of January you need an oil change, but in the month of February you don't. So this will be considered variable cost because it's not something that is monthly, and so we're looking at fixed and variable cost as monthly. Okay, tires. Well, once again, you're not paying for tires every month. And so this would be considered a variable. Now, this ad valorem tax, birthday tax, not necessarily in love with the fact that it's right here. So I'm assuming they're thinking it's variable. I'm not sure. But I mean, it's every year, so you have to pay it. So I can also see them thinking that is being fixed as well. But it's one of those situations where we'll have to just see what they, as in the type of questions on the test, are looking for. I don't necessarily love that. So don't stress out over this one here. All right. Example number 4. Jake drove his car 20,000 miles last year. His variable cost totaled this. His fixed cost totaled that. Okay, what is the cost per mile? So very simply, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take his fixed cost, which was 2,000. Now, remember, I'm sorry, I mixed this up. The variable cost, and I mixed this up. Sorry. This right here should be variable. This right here should be fixed. Oops, sorry. Now remember, variable cost stands for things that are going to go up and down, like gas costs, maybe maintenance fees and all that. Fixed costs are things that are not going to change, like car insurance, car payments, things of that nature. So I'm going to take $2,210 and divide that by 20,000. And when I do that, I get 11 cents. Same thing for this one. $1,940 divided by 20,070, and I get, we'll just say 10 cents. It rounds to 10 cents. So what was the cost per mile for him to operate his car? Well, 11 cents per mile for variable, 10 cents per mile for fixed. I'm just going to add them together. And so I get 21 cents. So 21 cents a mile to run his car for that year. All right. Now try it out with Sammy. Go ahead and pause the video, figure it out, and see what you get. So I got 18 cents for variable cost, 29 cents for fixed cost. So 18 cents plus 0.29, that gives me 47 cents per mile. Hope you understood it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.